is a reading worksheet to help you better understand and better use um, your textbook as you go through to read the information that you need to read. They call this oftentimes active reading, which means the person reading, the reader, is engaged in the material. Now, the information or the request for information in this worksheet, it's kind of up to you what you want to use and what you don't want to use. The idea is to give you ideas for what someone who's active reading should be doing and looking for, and then you should customize it on your own to find what best works for you. So, and the idea is, and if you're doing active reading, you would want to start out with instead of just starting with the first word and moving forward, start with asking yourself, what is this chapter about? What's the title of the chapter? Is there any kind of a lot of times they give you a preview with a short example story of how something might be applied in the real world. So getting that big picture is useful for a lot of people. A lot of times you can find it somewhere at the back of the book. You can find the main sections. You can just kind of look at what the main sections are, and then you can. This kind of gives you the path that the chapter is going to take. Then I want to remind you that you have a learning style, and so if you've already found out what it is, and you understand what your learning style is, and how it hopefully you've been applying it in other areas of your study, you want to use it when you're reading too. As you're reading, taking notes from the chapter, integrating them in with your current notes. If you're reading before the lecture, that's very good. So you can start taking notes then, and then filling in with additional information from your instructor. Or if you've already taken the lecture and then you're reading the chapter after the lecture, you can take the information that the instructor gave you, and you can fill in additional information from the textbook. So what you're doing is you're actually putting together multiple sources of the information. Okay? Any questions you come to, again, you may or may not want to use this, but this is a good idea to keep track of questions that you have, because you can get those answered in class. I like this one, predict where the author is leading you. If you ever had a conversation with other people, you probably have thought about what they're telling you and where they're going with it. Whether you really consciously realize it or not, you were thinking about where they're going with their story or with their conversation that you were having. Try to do the same thing when you're reading, right? Because it'll make it more. You'll become more engaged. Applying this, how can you apply it in some manner, whether a real world manner that you're, maybe a real world situation that you're dealing with now, a career, a life choice, or something like that. If you can think about how you can apply information that you're reading, it helps you to remember it. If you run across anything that's happened in the news or any kind of articles or anything, either now, in the past, or in the near future, list those out here, because those can help you build additional resources to remember the information that you're reading in the textbook.